cold and bleak and you just can't take it anymore. Here it comes, that glimmer of hope. A light shines through the door. It's the hopeless show with Maron and Rogan. Whoa. It's the hopeless show with Maron and Rogan. Whoa.
Today we have an excellent Hopeless show because we've got Ian Edwards here. Ian,
why'd you change your voice to introduce me?
Well, we've got. we've got.
This is not how we were talking. Coming up in the elevator.
We've got Ian Edwards here. Yo, what's up, man? So it's been a long day. Welcome. Ian has done everything from movies to writing on TV. Keenan Ivory Wayans, Kevin Hart. You've worked with the laundry list of people, and you've given a voice to so many people. So welcome, and just so you know, the last 2 episodes of this show were with a famous rabbi. So a lot of people that have come on to listen to that are now hearing you, and so I just expect rabbinic advice.
I mean, I've been to Beit Shemek, so I don't know. I don't know what else I can tell you.
And so how you doing today? Because a lot going on in the world. And one thing that you've done that's incredible is you've been on every kind of podcast. Mm-hmm. You've been on, from Rogan to Corolla to, I mean, the list is literally, and plus you host podcasts. So how do you change that? Like, how do you change like between audiences, or are you just you?
Just me. There's no way I could be like something. I just talk about the things I know that apply to that scenario and keep it like that. And then if somebody's got some knowledge they want to impart, I'm down to listen. I'm down to learn and grow and see what's up. So, yeah.
So would there be an example of like when you feel recently you've learned from a show? You know, you go do something thinking, oh, I'm the one who's gonna, and then you actually get something from it.
Yeah, I actually learned too much. Like, I'm like always watching a YouTube video about some shit I don't understand. And I don't even give my mind a break. I was like, what else? What else? Which is bad, because I feel like when there was space in between those videos, I used to use my brain to analyze the shit that I just learned so I could know it better and come up with stuff off it. But now I'm just like addicted to just playing more shit that I don't know and gathering information. So I'm almost AI in a sense. I don't remember it all, but I'm like, I need to like, I can't do something without listening to something. It's crazy. Driving here, I'm listening to something. And it could be anything. It could be soccer. It could be some stuff about the Middle East. It could be about World War II. It could be about like what's going on in the news. It's just, I need to, I don't even meditate. I just be listening to shit.
Like right now you've got 2 headphones in and you're listening to other things while we talk.
Yeah. I'm listening to a podcast right now while we do this podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
And with that, I was actually talking to this with someone earlier today about how we're computers in a way. And the thing that makes us different than computers is human interaction, is learning from one another. Otherwise, we're AI, like you said.
Yeah, but I think animals learn from each other too. I don't think we're the only things that learn from each other. You know what I mean?
And we can teach animals and they can teach us things too.
Yeah.
And so with doing all these different, like learning constantly, do you think there's a time to pause and to say, wait, what did I actually learn? Or do you write notes down?
100%, yeah. But I don't do that. I haven't even learned that I should do that. I've learned that I should do that, but I don't do that.
Well, when you're coming up with bits or coming up with the next routine or the next thing you might do on a show, a lot of your approach is kind of being the contrarian, right?
Yeah.
So how does that work, and how do you grab stuff from these shows and then put it into what you want to mold it as?
Yeah, I mean, when I say I don't do it, I'm exaggerating. There's times when I do slow down to do it. I just know I need to slow down and do it more. And when I write, that's one of the times that I do it. You know what I'm saying? So I also want to be a little bit more topical So that's a part of the reason why I'm like watching the news and paying attention to stuff right now, so that I can have like evergreen material. Because I want to register when I post, and I want people to come and see me. So one of the best ways to do that is to be topical. So I just came up with something about the Olympics. There's stuff about ice, so I don't even know if I answered your question.
You didn't
I'm
at all,
just
but
talking.
you gave me another question.
All right, go ahead.
Because that's what we do.
You're welcome.
We meander. So when you're coming up with something topical, the news is changing every 10 minutes. So it used to be with comedy, there was a story that was, you could use a bit for a long time because that story was in the news for a very long time. Right now, you've got to be constantly changing if you want to be topical.
Yes and no. Like, the news is like a soap opera. Like, if you stop watching the news for 10 years and come back, it'll be in the same spot as 10 years ago with different people, but the same cast of countries and characters, like, and people fighting for some reason, or the war that you started watching 10 years ago will be ending in the 10 years that you stopped watching the news and when you started watching it back. And you're like, oh, I remember this. I just skipped 8 seasons,
You got from you got Walter White becoming becoming the mad scientist, and then 5 years later he's just dying. Or no, he's still making making the blue.
Or he's living in Alaska.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the Epstein thing. Maybe he's out there in Alaska.
Maybe.
So like that, that's a topical thing.
The Epstein thing?
The Epstein thing. Yeah. Like where do you think it's headed? There's so many conspiracies. There's so many everyone has a different opinion of this thing.
I just, they should investigate. They should follow the documents. They should release the documents and they should investigate. And let's see where it goes. So the question is, why aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. So why aren't they?
I don't know. You tell me.
That's why you came here. You came here to give me I want to know. I want to know.
I'm just a guy. They should investigate, follow the trail of the files, and also find out why they're not.
So yeah, then why aren't they? Because in any rational world, which I don't think we really live in right now, in any rational world, it's a pretty obvious thing. Crimes committed, find out who perpetrated.
Right.
But where is that?
I have no idea. But America does this though. Like, I remember watching documentaries that expose certain departments of government for their lack of this and that.
Yeah.
And then there's a great conversation amongst people at the water cooler afterwards, and then nothing gets done. I would just wait for the next documentary. And there's like little to no outrage. People are outraged when you talk to them, but nobody's getting together in a group to like do something. Now, there are certain instances when people do march and people do stuff. And, look, maybe people will decide in the midterms they'll decide like, you didn't investigate this enough.
Yeah.
So maybe, all right, you won't be in office. Maybe that's the way to do it.
So do you think, just as a conspiracy, do you think there will be a normal midterms?
What do you mean normal midterms?
Like, there's been talk of it getting postponed, canceled, or
why would it be postponed? Canceled?
I don't think so.
I never heard this talk. Are you trying to start something?
I'm starting. Yeah, this is the beginning of the conspiracy.
Is this the inception? This the inception episode of the cancel the midterms? I've never heard that.
Well, I don't want it. But you just never, every day and week, I think there's certain new normals being set. And so what's another new normal? It could be that's moved. Maybe not. I hope not. I don't think so.
Yeah, it shouldn't. There's no reason for it not to get moved unless they make a catastrophe up or something. If a catastrophe happens, then maybe.
Then yeah, and right now, I try to balance how much I'm looking at stuff lately, but with the war, I
got no balance.
Well, all right. So then educate us. So what happened today with the war? I know they fired the gnome, Christy Nome got
She got fired?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know? Yeah.
No, I didn't
saw
know.
it. She just-
Listen, last night I was out doing shows, so I recorded the news and told nobody to catch me up on it.
Oh, good. So I'm glad.
I was watching the backlog. Now you just ruined the news that I taped to go home and watch. You just ruined the latest episode of the news for me. But Christy, no, she should have got fired. First of all, she's a Homeland Security. What was she doing again? She's the one that was making all the videos.
Yeah.
Or different outfits. Yeah. And I was like, who's paying for this budget for this woman to cosplay? Like this is taxpayers' money, fam. Yeah, you can't be doing this. Like, she has a glam team. She's become an influencer. and she going from place to, so why did they fire her? Because of the deposition?
Yeah, it was when they did that deposition, and then it was like a Real Housewives of Homeland Security. Mm-hmm. They had her husband there with her, and then they talked about the affair she was having. And
she was having affairs?
Yeah, apparently. This is
in front of her husband?
Yeah.
He didn't know about him?
I guess not. They brought it up. It was in the testimony.
Oh,
so
shit, I got to go home and watch the news. Listen, I'm sorry, man.
You're out. That's good.
I didn't know the news got this good.
Yeah, this is like extra. Yeah, but that's it. Like, so it's like, you're right. It's like a reality show.
Yeah.
Or it is a reality show.
No, it is. It is.
And it's not even reality. Like, what actually is going on and what they're putting on the news, I think is different.
I mean, there's layers to this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised some of the stuff that they do put on the news is like, it's just very telling. Like, they're exposing themselves. So why did they fire her? Let's get into that. Specifically.
The reason they say they fired her, or the reason it actually happened. So what they're saying, here's the exact headline, is
but before, I saw a clip of a black guy, senator or congressman, asking her about 150 something million, 145 million, and going to this address to this place that didn't exist until 8 days after she got the job.
Yeah.
And that money is for it's taxpayers' money. And it has, so where was that going? Was it because of that?
That's they didn't, shocker, they haven't fully said. They're just throwing a lot of things. Mm-hmm. They're throwing the affair out. Mm-hmm. They're saying that she wasn't doing a good job. Some people are saying it's just a scapegoat to just have a distraction. So, Trump did it. What was his line? I think he just said, she's, I don't trust her anymore. She's not doing a good job. She's fired. It's like it's the Homeland Security apprentice.
He's throwing the fan base a bone.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now we get something else to talk about.
All right.
So that's because they haven't really, there's not an actual reason that makes any sense.
Right.
And they don't need to say it.
Right. I get her mixed up with the other woman who they deposed a few weeks ago.
Bondi?
Yeah, Bondi with the Bondi and the Dow. The Dow is at 50.
Yeah, she's talking about the Dow like she's a preacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I get an amen? Can I get a Dow? They're just these figureheads. Like, they're both, they're kind of attractive. They're a little like, they've got they do themselves up well. Just like the press secretary, I forget her name. She's another one. It's like she just argues with people and stuff. Mm-hmm. But let's go back, then we'll get back to some different news. I want to go to continuing a thing that we were talking about right before, and then we're like, wait, we got to stop.
All right.
That Eddie Murphy documentary.
Okay, yeah.
And you were saying before, what was your reaction when you were gonna watch it?
I know my reaction to the Eddie Murphy documentary is like, when it first dropped, as one of the biggest Eddie Murphy's fans, like, I didn't want to watch it because you're gonna like give me the beginning, middle, and end of a career that I enjoyed, and then what if you don't do it well? Then it distorts everything that I enjoyed over a 20, 30-year period. Yeah. So I was like, I had to like watch the documentary saying, like, if I don't like this documentary, it destroys all my memories of Eddie. So it took me a minute to watch it because I'd rather just protect And not that I thought he did anything wrong. He's like, what if his career through this documentary ain't as great as I imagined it when I saw it? But it held up. The documentary held up with like when Eddie Murphy came out, man, that shit was crazy.
That was one of those things where I was like, man, I would have loved to do that, like go to the theater for Raw and just actually be in the audience. And then like they were talking about his outfits and how they were so absurd and also
they didn't say they didn't use the word absurd.
What was the word? But it was like it was a different. It wasn't. It was like. So it was almost too, it was so cool. Like it just became like, it's just him. Only he can pull this off.
But that was the time though. Like if you watched any, that's the time of like hair bands. That's the time of like coming out of like disco and soul where Sly and the Family stuff. Like people, musicians, he dressed like a musician more than a comic. And that's what it was. And he was, what's the word? Influenced by Elvis Presley and a lot of musicians, and he has musical talent too. So he just presented a stand-up comic in a musician like attire to add like showmanship to it. So yeah.
And
you can say absurd. I'm just fucking with you when you say absurd, but you know, I just like
I was just thinking that you're the only one who can pull. Anyone else at that time, like would have come out and people would have made fun of it probably.
I just think it's not that he just had the balls and the confidence to pull it off. You know what I mean? Like he registered superstar. Like it's just some unexplainable shit, and it's happened. We've seen it happen with different people. They just register in a different way at a higher frequency. Yeah, and that's what he was doing.
So how much did he influence you as a kid when you're seeing Eddie do his thing? Because there's
not at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I saw Eddie Murphy do stand up, I was like, "Oh, this is for talented people. You can't just be a stand up. You actually have to be anointed from the day you're born, and this is what happens. This is what happens." So I was like, and just enjoying it, and also enjoying it and telling myself, not in a negative way, but this is what a comic is, and you ain't that. But not in a bad way. It's just like, it's just irony now that I am a comic, you know, that I had the balls to not be that and still enter the same field to be a comic.
So where was there a change? Because you're seeing someone like him who was influencing everybody. He was the biggest thing on the planet. And so what made you think to do it after that fear of like, oh man, I
Delusion.
Can't
Delusion. Like, not just delusion, but I was also, and I tell this story a lot, like at the funniest point of my life, at that point when I decided to be a comic. And we were talking about things you do when the camera ain't on as opposed to when the camera's off. And the cameras were off and I'm just being funny with friends and strangers and being successful at it. And just doing that. And then a stranger being like, "Hey man, you're funny. You should do stand-up." And then nobody's ever said that to me before. And it resonated to the point where they said it, and the next instant, my soul, or whatever my intuition is, whatever you want to call it, says, "Hey, this is what we're going to do for the rest of our life." And I don't go against that, even if I'm not as talented as Eddie Murphy. You know what I mean? I can't go against some shit that I was told by my higher self. You know what I'm saying?
And what was so where were you thinking you were headed when that moment happened?
I was just a guy, early 20s, working at Burger King, going to school. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, you know, I given up on playing soccer pretty much as a professional. That's the only other thing that I ever wanted to do.
Soccer.
Yeah.
And you just know, all right, I'm not going to do that. I don't really want to be at Burger King forever.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy not to know that.
Yeah, you know, not ideal.
Yeah.
And so then once you went with that intuition, what was the first?
Well,
You bomb until you succeed.
You bomb until you see. Plus, they said it down the street from a comedy club.
Oh, really?
Which one? I was working at Burger King. Somebody said it to me at Burger King. Now, because of Burger King, I'm always in that area. It's in Levittown in Long Island. And one of the places we used to go to when we used to spend our work check was Tri-County Flea Market. And there was a record shop there. And I used to go with Greg, who was the funniest person at Burger King. I used to go with him there and watch him spend his record money in our Burger King uniforms. And right behind that, there's a parking lot and there's a comedy club, like right there. So I knew it was there. So when a person tells me this, after years of working at Burger King and going to the Tri-County Flea Market, I know the first place I'm going to try comedy is at Governor's, which is walking distance from the Burger King, you know?
Perfect.
And so it's almost like, even telling you now, it's like the shit was laid out. You know what I mean? Like before I got the final, like, we'll tell him to do this, like everything, I knew everything was. And then I said, all right, let me go to the comedy club and watch some shows. So I watched some open mics, and then I came back to work, and I was like, let me start stockpiling material. How am I going to get material? I make people laugh every day. Now write those things down when people laugh. So we're talking and you laugh. I'm like, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, he like that shit. Talking. Oh yeah, okay. I like that shit. I built like a 5-minute set from like beta testing it on people unsuspectingly.
And they don't even know.
They don't even know. Yeah.
And that idea of it being laid out is interesting because you said that there's some soul, there's something that was speaking to you to get you to do it. Mm-hmm. And then everything's kind of patterned out like boom, boom, boom. I can do that. So looking back, you're saying like, whoa.
That's why I ignored Eddie Murphy when he told me don't do comedy. When I watched how great his specials were, because everything was like laid out. The voice said that shit to me. The person said it to me, then my voice said it to me, and I knew everything was. I was like, I'm no Eddie Murphy, but I gotta go there.
And you're not Eddie Murphy, and you're doing something. The way you approach it, and having senior stand up a bunch of times, or just you trying out stuff when we're hanging out at the clubs, and it's totally different than what he does.
Right, it's completely different. But also, I'm like I'm not the type of person that has to get everything right away. Like I grew up in a generation where like you start at the bottom of the company and sweeping it, and then one day they'll give you a desk, a cubicle, and then one day, years later, you can get an office, and then maybe a bigger office, and you work your way up, and then you could be at the top of the thing that you didn't expect to get. Like, so I can take this shit in chunks. Like, the more you see me work out, the better I get. You know what I mean? Like, and the more my style of comedy will change from being cerebral to like more me believing in myself more incrementally and just getting better and better and better until, who knows, maybe one day I might be as good, and I might never, but I like the thought of the might be.
Yeah, the possible, like
the possibility drives me, keeps me not being satisfied with where I'm at on a performance level, writing level, and just all the levels.
And that's this idea I think about a lot. And I poorly pitched you about or talked to you about our foundation stuff. Mm-hmm. This idea of thinking differently. Bless you.
Thank you.
That's actually a fun. Why do you say bless you when you sneeze?
It's because your heart stops or some shit like that.
So it's all right. Mm-hmm. Survive that sneeze. Anyway, thinking differently. As I just had an ADHD moment. Mm-hmm. Thinking differently. How do you feel about that? Because you obviously look at things in a different way. And my hunch is school for you might have been not your favorite thing.
Nah.
Or you liked it?
Yeah, I never there's moments in school where I didn't like, but for overall, like I liked most of the schools that I went to. You know, I just grew up different places, so maybe that's what it was. Like lived in England till I was 9. Then I lived in Jamaica till I was 17, from 9 to 17. So I experienced like the world on a level and from a perspective that was different from England and different from America. And then I moved to America when I was 17. And then you're watching news from 3 different places and how they tell the news. And I came from places with 3 different histories.
Yeah.
So I learned the history of England and Europe. I learned the history of Jamaica and the Caribbean. And I learned American history. And humor from all 3 places are different. And then you put it together. And then I also realized one of my favorite comics was Richard Pryor.
Mm.
And I was like, why is this guy funny? And it's like, because he's being himself, you know? And I was like, the only way to stand out is to be yourself. Everybody's has a different fingerprint, but you're also a fingerprint of who you are. So if you can be you the most, that's how you're different. You don't try to be different, you just try to be you the most. And that's your difference.
It's interesting. You did what you just said, and what Rabbi Steve Leder said are the exact same things.
I knew it.
You are a rabbi.
I knew it. I told you I went to Beit Shemesh. I keep saying it wrong, but you know.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because he said the biggest thing is to have faith in yourself and bet on yourself. And you just said the exact same thing. Bet on yourself, be yourself, and believe that you are going to do you the best with whatever it is that you approach.
Right. I can be me the best, you know what I'm saying? So I might as well ride that horse.
And you had this kind of, you got to think differently in 3 places,
right.
Which most people don't get. It's a big gift. I would have loved that. Like to go to 3 different places, learn. It might have made school more interesting.
Right. I've spent a significant amount of time in all 3 places, so I definitely have 3 influences that like kind of orbit or run in the background computer of my mind. You know what I'm saying?
And then your mind, because the way you approach comedy, I think is really cool. How you're observational, and I know you slow things down so you're not overwhelming the audience, right? But you're also
I'm not slowing it down. I'm slow. That's me going as fast as I can go.
There's a lot of information, like as you said, you're taking in so much information. You can't just spit everything out. So how do you do it? How do you take a bit? It's not the information you heard, it's the information you're conveying, and in a funny way.
I wish you would have asked me that question 20 years ago. It'd be easier to answer.
All right, let's go back.
You know, because now comedy's about like programming yourself to be a comic so that you don't have to learn things and that you just know them. So a lot of stuff is just automatic. So that's why like 20 years ago, I'd be in the process of learning those things so I could tell you what I'm learning. So now it's like I have to figure out like what my operating system is. You feel me? Like the bones of it. But all I try to do when I'm writing something, just to simplify it, is a lot of comics talk about the same topics. But if I'm going to talk about that topic, I just want to make sure I'm not saying what they're saying about the topic.
Yeah.
So then I hear all the stuff that I hear, and then because I feel like I'm naturally, and you said the word, it starts with a C.
Contrarian.
Contrarian?
Yeah, it's, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you're almost picking away at a topic in a way where people maybe are a little uncomfortable, and then you make it funny.
Yeah. and then go against the grain and not agree with everything that everybody's saying. Like, I remember I never did this, but I should have. Like, there was a time when everybody was making fun of hipsters, right? Maybe 10 years ago. Everybody's making fun of hipsters, like trashing them. But they were doing it like with bravado and, hipsters and the coffee and blah, blah, blah. But everybody was going in so hard against hipsters. I was like, you'd actually be the edgy comic if you defended hipsters, because that's not what people want to hear. So if you defended the thing that people wanted to beat and made people laugh and went against the grain, then you're being edgy. So it's like, and also, I don't just try to be, what's the word?
Contrarian.
Just to be contrarian. There has to be truth to it,
So I'm curious about if you're going to defend hipsters. Because there's a ton of hipsters 5 minutes away from here.
Are they hipsters anymore?
No, they're just kind of it's called Silver Lake.
It's not even, the term is not used anymore. That was like 10 years ago. But I just thought that everybody was bashing hipsters. So I was like, I would go against the grain on this. And I can't remember exactly. That's just an example. It's like when everybody's like beating the same drum.
Yeah.
I know that it's not always right. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it ain't. So the when it's wrong, I'll take that topic and try to like say my contrarian part about it.
So is that what's fun when you go on different shows, for example, and whatever it might be, like people have an expectation when you are listening to certain shows of what that opinion is based on the host and what a guest might bring to it. Is your goal when you go on a different show to be like, I'm going to pick it what the audience might expect?
My goal is to tell the truth as best as I can tell it. But I mostly pick the contrarian parts of truth. Like I have a joke now, I'm working on it. But I say I would never live with my wife. So already that's contrarian, right?
And immediately funny.
Right? I like, why would I live with, I'm just going to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do, like, why would I live with my wife if I love her? Like, everybody that's ever been divorced used to live together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't divorce somebody you don't know. Right? Like, I want to keep my relationship in I want to live with you so bad mode. So like at the end of hanging out with my wife, I'm like, you got to go home.
They say it's like you have to keep the spark alive.
Yeah, you got to go home. And this is based on the truth of being in a relationship with somebody where I lived on my side of town and they lived more towards the west side. But every time when she came to visit me or I went to visit her, we made the most of that time because LA traffic is crazy. So it's like I wouldn't go there and she'd be in bed, like not gotten up all day. Like she would cook or she came to me, I'd cook. I'd clean the house before she came. You know what I mean? Like not have somebody come all the way from the west side to my dirty spot. You know what I mean? And
you're being your best self.
Yeah, I take her to the good spots in my neighborhood. I go over there, vice versa. So we got the best of each other. There was no time to just be like, oh, you're here, you're here, and you can say, yeah, the relationship never worked out, but that's not why it didn't work out. You know what I mean?
And it probably lasted a lot longer because you were basically doing a long distance relationship in LA terms.
And in LA terms, that's a long distance relationship. Somebody in Hollywood and somebody near Santa Monica, they might as well be in Kansas.
Yeah.
You're going to see them the same amount.
Maybe less. Because we do live kind of close, but not that close.
Yeah. So when I say I would never live with my wife, people are like, this guy doesn't know love. I say that because of love, because I want to keep love. Like I believe more in the Hollywood romantic version of love than you do. You're trying to kill it by living with the person that you love. I'm trying to keep this shit out. I'm trying to keep my relationships in romantic comedy like mode. This is,
You're Sleepless in Seattle.
yeah,
Or one of the any Kate Hudson movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and it's an immediate shock. I'm guessing some of it is an immediate laughing shock value thesis of the joke.
Yes, there you go.
Because you're saying it immediately. We're in.
Yeah, we're in. You know where I'm starting at. Let's see where he's going. I disagree with him, but I disagreed with him 5 jokes ago, 4 jokes ago, 3 jokes ago. So let's see where he goes with this. You know what I mean?
And then when you're writing for a show and you're putting the words in someone else's mouth, do you bring that contrarian or that different aspect to that character, but you're also writing for a character that has a voice? How do you adjust?
Well, first of all, you're writing for a joke. You're writing for the story. And you know all the characters involved in the story. So comedy just on the whole teaches you building a story. So you have abilities, and you can write jokes that are not for you, which is a great exercise which I use to write on shows. And then some of the jokes are from me and I would say them, and some of them I was just like, I've also learned to be in writers' rooms, and I always consider myself lucky. Like I got paid to learn, like from people who were in the prime of their life when I first started writing.
Like Wayans brother,
the Wayans brothers, or just so many different rooms, but definitely Wayans, like Keenan. There's so many writers in there that had better experience than me and more experience, and then you realize, oh, we're just taking everything that we would as comics after a show when we're sitting around at the table kicking it. Like if somebody starts saying something funny and then you start tagging it,
Yeah, then
and it's even if it's not your topic, but you tag it, and then somebody else tags it, and then you build this thing, and you're just rolling. Everybody's rolling because they just built this thing after a comedy club at a diner one night, and that happens every night. That's what the writers' room is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you're learning skills when you're just hanging out with comics, even after the show. You know what I mean?
It's listening.
It's listening. You're listening. So it's just listening.
And that's part of comedy. It's
Yes.
part of any creative process, I think, is listening and collaboration and the right collaboration, because you've probably been in the right kind of writer's room and the not quite so right writer's room.
Both help.
So how would to be like you, how would the bad writer's room, because people would think, oh, only the good ones would help. How would the bad writer's room help you?
Because then you just pitch the better idea. You're like, that's kind of hacky. What's a better version of that? Like I'm around good comedy when I'm in the comedy clubs and bad comedy. So it's the same thing in the writer's room. Most of the writer's room have been like high level, but once in a while, there will always be like one person like, how did this person get hired? But I'm sure I've been that person to other people. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was new, And I'm just glad for the chance I could learn to be better.
Right, because it's the push.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, so I'm curious what that was like. The first big one with Keenan Wayans?
Yeah.
So when you're with him, you're thrown into this. It's like, you said Kansas. You're not at Burger King anymore.
That was like right in boot camp, because you'd be there like 12 hours. Then you have to find some sleep and then come back with new ideas. So half your sleep time or your night off time is working before you can get to work in the morning, because there's so much pressure at work to come up with ideas. And it's a daily talk show. I needed a head start. Like I said, I'm slow. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
but I'm also relentless. Like I'm gonna try to do a great job. So that was just boot camp.
And do you think it's easier now because you have access to even more information?
It's easier now because I know comedy better. Like so you asked me a question. Like I had to learn how to do comedy math. Now I know comedy math. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can access a joke faster just based on experiences and just being around comedy. But back then it's like, how do you even make this funny? Like I don't know yet. I'm just learning how to do that. So to learn how to do something when they're paying you to do it, that's scrambling. That sends your mind scrambling. You're like, if I don't do this, I'm fired. This is a great job. It pays money. And then this person's, how did they do that fast? How did they do that fast? Like you're in you make it a battlefield. It doesn't have to be. You just really need to relax and slow down. And these are all things you just got to learn. You know what I mean?
And then once you learn it
and trust yourself, and but you don't trust yourself because you see somebody operating on a level you should be operating on because they got more experience.
And that's the idea of the better. You said it earlier, like, oh, he's the best or he's the best. I personally don't like that with anything creative, especially something like comedy, where, oh, Eddie's the best. And people say, you even said the anointed one, or he's the one.
He was, though. At that time, he was.
He was the best. And then to some people, there's someone else who's the best.
But there were other people that were better than, like Seinfeld was dope too. Like,
yeah.
Like he wasn't no Eddie, but like I was like, damn, I saw him live. I was like, I gotta get Arsenio Hall. There's so many people. Martin Lawrence was like, I did a show with Martin Lawrence when he was blowing up. Like I was like, I did good, but I didn't do that. I did a show with Bernie Mac once. Oh, wow. He erased all of us, and we didn't do bad. We did great. His 10 minutes in, nobody remembered that there was openers.
Really, he was just
to the fucking
to the, and that's what was crazy when
the place had no roof, bro.
He was like that.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. He was that like, and was that crazy when because there were a few big comedy movies and with DL, Cedric the Entertainer, him, like combining everyone. What do you think of that? Because it doesn't happen much where you combine like 3 or 4 of the biggest comedians and then have them do a movie together.
Right.
What do you think of that versus the individual? Because most people think of stand-up comedy as the individual sport.
Yeah, I feel like our version of that now is people doing podcasts together, like
what
bad
morons.
Friends. Like me being a guest on that, people being then you get those are ways of like you can make people laugh for an hour with those people being together. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like without sets and a director and all that stuff. So there's ways people do sketches. See, good comics doing sketches with good comics all the time.
And then that's the collaborate. It's like the improv thing. You're getting to yes and you're getting to like that's what improv's fun. It's on your feet. You just gotta go with it.
Yeah, shit. I might take an improv class after this.
Have you ever done it? Have you ever done improv?
Yeah, but just with like a bunch of comics. Like when we were young and doing comedy, was like, let's just try this. And I had some idea of it. Plus you improv on stage. Like last night, I did the upstairs. I think my first 5 minutes was improv.
Oh, really?
I was like, I was worried. It was going so well. I was like, is my material going to be able to follow this?
What was it? What got you to just go like that for...
The upstairs scares me. So it puts me on high alert, which takes me... It could take you into a place where you hold back or where you have to let go.
And what the...
So I choose to let go.
Explain the upstairs to listeners who don't know it.
The upstairs is a club downtown. It reminds me of the Boston Comedy Club, which was in New York City. It was one of the best clubs in New York City, where it was a white club, but mixed ethnicity. White people, New York Latin people, New York black people, and they just wasn't giving it up. Like, you really had to like kill. You had to be really good. You had to be on the top of your game. Like, it was, the other clubs were easier. So then I knew anything that worked at the Boston would work anywhere in the country. Then the Comedy Store, OR, became that room, right?
Yep.
But then the pandemic happened, so the OR is still the OR, but something about it, I think it's still the way it is, but it's tough. I don't know. There's a shift in my mind.
The original room, for if it's the first ever Comedy Store room.
Yeah. But then the OR really reminds me of the Boston Comedy Club, where my first few sets there, they were like this a little bit.
Oh, really?
And I hadn't been like gotten that in a while. And there's one guy, one show was kind of heckling. And I was like, oh, you gotta come out. Like, like I told you about the relentlessness.
Yeah.
So it's like, it just made me like open up a part of me that I didn't know was probably shut down and that needed to be opened up.
Huh.
And to do with it good in that room, like I have to approach it in a more open, attacking, vulnerable, attacking way.
And then the audience, like at the upstairs last night, the audience, you think reads it? They're like, oh, you're going. You're not, there's nothing.
They like when you just go.
Yeah.
They like when you just go. Then I can bring the memory, the muscle memory of that other places.
And what was it taught? Like last night, what was a thing you get on stage, you're like, all right, I'm going to just roll with this.
It's tough to recreate it now, but it wasn't that packed. But I don't know. I was just talking about, I don't know if it'll be funny here.
It doesn't. I'm just curious what topic,
it wasn't
what you
that
went
packed.
for.
I was talking about how there wasn't that many people there. And I was talking about how there's hardly anybody here, and there's hardly anybody here, and it feels like Iraq is bombing us, and instead of us bombing them. Like, I'm sure there's more people in a comedy club in Iraq right now than here. Like, why? Iran. And so I'm like, why is this shit so empty? And then it just goes. It goes into places. But that's one of the things that hit him.
That hit him.
Yeah.
Literally. All right. Well, I want to throw out another topic that came out. I just saw, because you just went, news culture.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an amazing first joke. So the thing that just came out, our wonderful president said that gas prices obviously were like one of the biggest things that he ran on, and he just said that he doesn't care about gas prices right now. You shouldn't care about it because they're going to go up, but then they'll eventually go down. So don't worry about it now. So this is the Hopeless Show. But just talk on that, because to me it's wild that all of a sudden you'd say, like, don't worry about it. Yeah, you're going to spend double.
You never seen a politician go back on their word? It's what they do.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Oh, always.
Both sides. It's like, listen, people are damned if they do and they damned if they don't. It's like I wouldn't have voted for Trump, but I get the people who voted for Trump.
Yep.
Like, there were some good things. He said no more wars. People needed to hear that. People needed to hear that, because I have friends like that tell me that all their friends were in wars. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, my whole generation of friends are in wars, and they all fucked up. So when people hear that, despite the racism and everything, they're going to be like, so you're not going to send my child to war. I don't have to go to war no more. And we all know the budget of war. So, but then
it's an industry.
He went back on it,
which is why. Here, I'll throw this thing out there. That's a thought I've been having. Is Trump and Obama, the way what they ran on, even though it seems totally different, actually is more similar because it's a dream. Make America great again. So some people grabbed onto that. Hope. Some people grabbed onto that. Like, hell yeah, there's hope. And then you're disappointed after 8 years because it's like, oh, wait, my life isn't as good as I thought it was going to be 8 years ago when he said that. And then Trump, make America great again. It's not quite as great.
I don't think I was disappointed with Obama.
I wasn't either.
Some people were.
Some were.
But I don't know exactly why. I know he couldn't. As a politician, he can't keep all promises.
My point is the messaging, not the actions or what people do or don't agree with. The messaging is this big thing that you can't fully ever, you can't make someone's hopes and dreams come true.
They definitely overpromise.
That's it. That's a good way to put it. They both overpromised.
Yeah, it's like, where was America when Obama, we were in 2 wars when he was running. So hope, we needed hope. And then Trump is like, make America great again, which is kind of racist sounding.
Very.
You know what I mean? Because I have to say it. Like, I have another joke now. Yeah. Which is related to that, but not related to that. Like, I was with one of my white friends.
I'm sorry.
Nah. Judge everybody on an individual basis. And he was like, we were in Vegas doing shows. And he's like, hey, man, if you could go back in a time machine, what period of time would you go back to? I said, whoa, like, black people can't play the go back in time on a time machine game. There's a limited distance that we could go back in the future to. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a white privilege game because you're good across centuries of going back. You know, the furthest like a black person could go back to and be safe is probably 79-ish, like 10 years after the Civil Rights Act was passed. And then, but if you really wanted to be good, the safest place you could go back is like the first Biggie album in time. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know, and I wouldn't even go forward in a time. I would go forward in a time machine 3 days to see if I should have paid rent or not. just to that. You know, it's
all right. You just gave. I probably can't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You just gave me a thought of like if Back to the Future, the movie, was Black to the Future. If it was black, if it was like Michael J. Fox was a black guy, you can't go back to 1955. Right. And like if you go back to 1955, you literally can't be where
to make sure my parents get married. Yes. First of all, when I woke up this morning in the present, they were married. So why am I going back to make sure they do get married? It's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Just stay your ass where you're at. Why are you hanging out with a crazy doctor? Well, look at his hair.
Already, just don't trust him.
Just stay where you're at, bro.
And you know, it almost didn't work out. Then his picture disappeared. All right, so we're gonna do. There's a thing we do that was really funny. There's a thing we do on this called Hope in 60 Seconds, where I'll throw out a topic and then you have the rest of the 60 seconds, which I'm like holding up an invisible clock and just bring some hope. So
good luck. I told you I'm slow.
All right. So we might, it's hope in 4 minutes. There's a thing that just came out. The United Airlines is saying you have to put on your headphones on the plane or you're going to get kicked off the plane.
You have to put them on?
You have to put the headphones on. Like you can't listen to anything, even if it's soft on your phone or device. You can't listen to anything without headphones on, or you're literally going to get kicked off the plane.
I agree with that. I agree with that in public. People be like talking, having full-on conversations. Now put your headphones on. I agree with that on land. So 100%. 100% in the air.
You answered my my question before I even said it. I was gonna say, can't we do that in restaurants too?
Yeah. Like I don't want to. listen to the meme that you're watching that you didn't want to watch because somebody sent it to you. Like, why am I hearing this? Mhm.
Like, you know, people talking their phones with the speaker up really loud instead of this, instead of just putting it to your ear. And then you just hear the other person. It's like a humble brag because you're not going to do it with someone where you don't like what they're saying, but it's so loud.
I mean, I understand like a woman late night walking down a dark street doing that shit.
Yeah.
But in the daylight, like everybody just put their headphones in, bro.
That's rule. All right, I'm in. And then here's another one. So Allstate, the insurance company, which I have, so it makes me even more hopeless. They apparently are tracking illegally your devices, so they see where you're driving and how you're driving, and if they should insure you or not.
And that's fucked up because I try to low mileage my insurance. Like they charge you based on how much you say you're going to drive a year. So sometimes you can't get under that amount of miles. It's just sometimes it's just that type of year, but you're still paying that rate. But now, if you get your oil change, the oil changer snitches on you. They send the information to your goddamn insurance.
Nonsense.
That's wild. I'm not getting my oil change at any place that's going to snitch to my insurance. This is between me and you, bro. Like, this is not just oil change money. This is silence. I'm buying your silence. Like, why are you talking to them? I'm talking to you. This is me and you. Like, why are you talking to them? This, like, what's going on is unbelievable. Yeah.
That's now I feel like that's a whole new strategy for how to get your car fixed.
Yeah. Like, hey man, do you connected to anybody? You know, yeah. I got a survey I need you to take before I'll let you change this.
They have you fill out the form about your car.
And
really,
here's my
you gotta
form. Fill out this form.
Incredible.
Who
So
you affiliated with?
we should actually bring our form. We should bring forms to almost everything we do.
Yeah, I got a form too.
All right, here's one more. Microplastics. You told me right before this, I'm drinking out of a plastic cup.
Yeah, you're gonna die. Nice knowing you, bro.
It's been fun.
How many of those you use a day?
None anymore. So Ian was saying how microplastics kill you, which is true. And you don't want to do it. And I'm now going to not do it.
Good.
I'm going to live a little longer because I'm going to have no and they are getting rid of these. I think they're slowly trying to get rid of them. So use paper.
Yeah, paper, glass. You can get some mugs in here and wash them.
Yeah, we do have them.
Yeah, don't you have a thing?
Yeah, we've got all
mugs.
that. We just didn't.
Oh, yeah, use them.
All right, good idea.
Yeah, this is landfill shit. It'll never like decompose. Like just use the glass and just wash it out, and you're drinking water.
Like scientists can go back 30 years and just go into the ground, and they're just going to be like, "Oh, everyone was just plastic." And all right, so then one other thing I really want to talk about. This
How many one other things you got? No, I'm just kidding.
Three more one others.
All right, cool.
It's like Joe Biden. And the first thing I've got three things, and then it's like seven things. The Ben Affleck, everyone's favorite topic. Ben Affleck. I had no idea this, but could you guess what Ben Affleck just did?
Got back with J-Lo.
See, that would have been better. This is more depressing, but it's positive for him. Did you know that he had an AI firm?
No.
Me neither. But Netflix just acquired it. And I just sometimes think like these people, well, what do you take from it? Because I'm just like, what?
I don't even understand he has an AI firm?
He has an AI firm.
And what does it do?
It's Inner Positive, which makes tools developed by and intended for filmmakers. And whatever the hell that means, they have 16 employees and Netflix bought it. And Ben Affleck's title with the firm is Senior Advisor.
I'm confused. I got nothing on that. Like, I don't know what that even means. I have no context. I just heard word salad.
And this is on Deadline.
And AI, yeah.
It's everything's AI these days.
Yeah.
So do you think it's a positive thing? Because I personally do.
I don't know what it is.
No, AI, not
AI?
Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is
Everything's a positive and a negative. Like, so I do think there's aspects of AI that's positive, and I think there's aspects of AI that's negative, you know? Like, I think now that you told me about the 16 people working at Ben Affleck's job in AI and how that's going to be dwindled down to 4 people because of AI. You know, so you know, like, the first person who introduced the concept of AI to me told me that there's going to be universal, like, financial care because AI is going to do everything. But I don't trust the people who don't pay us now when we work overtime to pay us when we're not working the right amount. So that's my issue. AI can take my job, but am I going to get paid what I was getting paid? You know, or am I going to get a raise? Is it going to match the cost of living? Or people who control AI going to be too greedy? That's
maybe.
Highly likely. Yeah.
You got to assume that because it's always been with the new business, greed.
Yeah.
Greed propels
Any business that exists, people trying to make money. The only way to make money from AI is to probably invest in it. So when it takes your job, at least you're getting the money from the company that took your job.
Yeah. So why not? So you go play their game.
Yeah. Like when the studios were on strike because they wanted to pay, you know, we had the Writers Guild strike. It's like, go invest to the person you're marching in front of, the studio you're marching in front of. So that if you don't get the deal that you're fighting for, that means they're going to have your money and you can get it back in interest.
Yeah.
Because they won. They won the strike.
Yeah, they did win.
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
A little bit.
A little bit. I don't know.
I mean, you've got your thing going, but a lot of people, you know, the writers' rooms got smaller.
Yeah, they got smaller. Yeah.
And that didn't help. I put a tiny bit of money during the strike into Warner Brothers Discovery because I was like, you know what? People are hating on it now, but it's not going anywhere. They own half of they own so much property and so much intellectual property.
Right.
There's gonna be more Batmans.
Right.
There's gonna be more Supermans. There's gonna be Supergirls now. We're gonna have all of it.
Right.
And Ian, this is the last thing. I promise.
This is the last of the last things.
The last of the last. The Last of Us, is just, you know, having you on's awesome. I've been begging you to come on
Yes, you have. It's embarrassing.
Embarrassing. Come on. We were at a Christmas party, and I'm like, come on, can you can you do it? And you know, it's not Christmas anymore, but you did it, and I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. And I want to know where you're gonna be next. I know Ian's at all the comedy places, depending on you're popping around trying new stuff.
So where can you find me? At Ian Edwards Comic on Instagram, on YouTube. My special is there, Ian Edwards Stand Up, and specials there, and I keep saying this, but I need to do it. Like that, I haven't touched any of the money that the special has made because I want to donate it to victims of the LA fire from last year.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I got to anybody with any suggestions of like a good, clean charity that gives the money straight to the people who need it, that doesn't have no huge overhead. So I'm just paying like workers. I want the people who need the money to get the money.
We can take suggestions because
I did, and I'll take suggestions. Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll get some because that's true. You want to get it, and that's awesome that you're doing that because you're giving back.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like LA gave me a lot. You know, it's not just I don't know I don't know. I don't know if I always wanted to move to LA or saw myself in LA or when I first moved here. And I love New York.
Yeah.
But like I got a lot of good jobs here, man, a lot of good friends here. And I got into like the writing part of the business here, and it wasn't always easy. But even in a bad day in LA, you're at a coffee shop complaining about life.
Yeah, with your venti with your matcha.
Yeah. And it's like, how many
almond
people
milk.
can complain like this in middle of America? You know what I mean? Like with real problems. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm complaining about trying to get a job. There's people like they got 5 jobs.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't know. So I feel like LA has given me a lot. I'd love to like use the proceeds of the special. So if you watch it, all the money from the AdSense and just the views goes to victims of the LA fire. The money's there. It's in the account. I haven't touched it. I just have to pull the trigger.
And so people don't realize those fires were a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Go drive into Altadena or Pacific Palisades.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a mess and people are still struggling.
Yeah. I have one friend. She's in Altadena. I might just give it to her family. Yeah, because they're rebuilding their house right now. Like she shows it on Instagram. She showed it when it got burnt down. And
So it's
just she legitimately, yeah.
And she needs it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people are still getting it back together.
Yeah, people are still getting it back together, yeah.
And that doesn't mean because LA gets a bad rap. It doesn't mean that LA is bad. We just, like anywhere, that you have some things that happen. And LA is a great city.
Yeah, nobody's saying it's bad. Why'd you bring that up? Why'd you say that? Where did that come from?
I'll tell you where it came from. Because I said this was the last thing, and now I've got one thing that upsets me. When I go to different cities for work, like I was just in St. Louis, and I almost have to be like, should I tell them where I'm from? Because it's an immediate, oh, I'm so sorry. You live in Los Angeles. It must be really tough.
Yeah, because of what? Like the propaganda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you almost have to, like, I'm half Canadian, and signs I just say, I'm from Canada, which now has a problem too. But if you say LA or California, they're like, ooh. It's like you're immediately not,
Right.
So that's why I brought it up, because I'm like,
I feel you.
we gotta tell people LA is a good place. Don't listen to the media.
It's expensive.
That too.
And we don't know where 24 billion in homeless money went. But that's all of California, not to LA.
Yeah, it's not just LA, it's everywhere.
Yeah. We need to get that homeless money back.
And
24 billion.
Small amount.
Yeah.
Well, man, thanks for coming on. And everyone go check out Ian's special, and then you're given to either his friend who needs it to get the house back, or the charity.
Or a charity.
That we're going to come
give
up
me a
with.
charity, that helps out mostly victims from Altadena. Like, it's tough to help out people from the Palisades. It's not even tough to help them out, but I'm sure people in Altadena need it more.
Yeah, that's
possibly.
Yeah, they do. I grew up by there, and it's like a little different than the Palisades.
Right, a little, yeah.
Instead of a view of the ocean, you have a view of East LA. Little different. But man, thanks for coming on, and now this is the last. So thank you for bringing us hope.
All right, thank God, Jesus Christ. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody, be good to each other, man. How about we do that? Let's start there.
Amen.
When the world seems cold and bleak and you just can't take it anymore, here it comes, that glimmer of hope. A light shines through the door. It's a hopeless soul with Maron and Rogan World.